Hey everybody, John Epicut here. Hello and good morning. No, good afternoon. Greetings from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Alright, I am on my way to WEL, Well Companies, to pick up a load once again, bound for Houston, Texas. The temperature here is 28 degrees. Local time is 12:29. Today is Friday, December 20, December 17, 2021. I was able to spend the night at the house and got me a good home cooked meal, shower, and sleep with my own bed next to my beautiful bride. Life is good. Alright, here's a philosophical question that I would like to share with you. Which is it was kind of a, not my original idea. Which I've never seen it before in my mind. Alright, the topic is about minorities and majorities. In the United States, brown people are the minorities. But that's rapidly changing, and for a long time anyway, right? But either that's accurate today is debatable. But the question is, in maybe still is true today, or it certainly was true maybe a couple decades ago, that white people are the majority in the United States. Caucasians were the majority of the population, and brown people were the minorities. But here's something that I have not seen in my mind's eye before, which I think because in the United States, the race between the minorities and the majorities, Caucasians and brown people, have been so politicized. We have been so bombarded with so many issues and news and topics and in the media, that I think it made me kind of blind to the reality of things. And here's what my point is. As I said, in this country, in the United States, brown people are, or were, the minorities. Well, Caucasians are majorities. But in the world population, it was shocking for me to realize from somebody's, I'm not the original author of this thought. I just picked it up from somewhere, or somebody that brought up this revelation, that in the world population, Caucasian people are the minorities. There are more brown people in the world than Caucasians, right? White people. So the question was, and is, why did the white people, Caucasian people, dominated the world in wealth, technology, advancement of ships, and almost everything just seems like today white people are hated because of the dominance the white people did to the world. They have white people became conquerors, and for good or bad, history teaches us that white people dominated every other race in the world, even though they were and they are the minorities. So what is it that white people have that enabled them to do that? Is it because they're smarter than other races? Is it because they're more courageous than other people? Is it because they had the sense of exploration than other people? Every race had the equal opportunity to dominate the world. In the beginning of time, now, to me, if you say, well, white people dominated the world because they're more evil than the rest of than brown people, yeah, I don't think so. That's not what the Bible teaches. Evil does not have a skin color, although it has a color of the heart. Some people are just darker hearts than others. So me and Jackie had a little bit of a discussion to what was it that of all the races in the world, if anything else, in the beginning, the brown people should have dominated the world because they were there were more population than the white people, right? I do have an opinion on that based on somewhat of a biblical point of view. Here's an analogy that I would like to, hopefully you will see, that maybe will somehow illustrate the point. In the farm, a farmer goes out to the farm and uses a big machinery to unearth, to bulldoze or to, I don't know the farm name of it, but when farmers go out and they till, I think, right? They till the land, they take a big old farm tractor and make the soil I don't know what when they plow, when they plow the farm so that fresh dirt can be on top. Let me try to gather my thoughts here. As I said, with brute force takes a big old machinery and plow the earth, the grass, the earthworms, and the animals in the farm gets plowed with it by brute force. But because of that act, the birds are able to come in and harvest the worms and whatever else that it allows the birds to come in and reap the good things. But I think that's a bad analogy, I think. Alright, let's try this one. Imagine yourself a big old bulldozer that bulldozed the forests and just plowed everything, bulldozed everything in its path. With all the grass and all the trees, all the earthworms. By the act of the bulldozer, all those things that are in the forest are violated because of the brute force of the bulldozer. The bulldozer just went through it and bulldozed everything dishonorably. But because of the act of the bulldozer, later on down, it allowed the farmers to go and plant the seeds. It allowed other people with honorable intentions to follow the bulldozer to explore the forest, because previously there was no road for other people to use to explore the forest or the mountains. Oh, I'm really bad at this. One of the discussions that me and Jackie had is this. In my opinion, God allowed the white people, maybe, I don't know, the poor choice of word, for the lack of a better word, God chose the white people to bulldoze the world with brute force, so that later on down the history, the gospel of the gospel of God was able to follow that route and sow the seed. Does that make sense at all? I mean, God uses everyone, right? Whether you're good people or bad people, as I have said many, many times before, that God uses everyone for good or for bad. You do have a choice, however, whether you allow God to, you ask God to choose you to do for good or for evil. But somehow, somewhere, God uses everybody. One of the demonstrations illustrations that I had with Jackie was, look at Judas Iscariot. Judas had free will, but God chose him to accomplish on betraying Jesus so that Jesus can accomplish his work. Somebody had to betray Jesus because it was written that way. Before the foundation of the world, before there was anything that was made, before the world existed, the story was already written and it had to be fulfilled. And as I said, just because God chose Judas to accomplish that work, it doesn't absolve absolution, absolve, yeah. It doesn't excuse Judas to, I can't say that word, I don't know why. Absolution, absolve, yeah, absolve, yeah. That doesn't absolve Judas from doing evil things, although he had plenty of opportunity to repent at the end and he would have been forgiven, but his free will chose to commit suicide. Again, to the point, what I'm trying to convey is that I think that of all the races in the world, God chose or allowed white people to dominate the world. Not because there's anything special about white people, more so than other people. It's just by his sovereignty, he chose white people to accomplish that, like God chose the Jewish people to carry out the gospel throughout the world, throughout history. When God chose the Israelites, there was nothing special about the Jewish people. They were not better looking, they were not more holy than other people, they were not smarter than other people, they were not anything. But in God's sovereignty, he chose Jewish people to carry out his will. And I think that's what I'm trying to convey, is that again, of all the races in the world, why did the white people, which is the minority, was able to dominate the whole world for a time? Now let's take religion out of it. Okay? Let's look at it in a secular, let's even call it atheistic point of view. Again, why and what is it with white people? What did they have that others didn't have, that they were able to accomplish what they accomplished than brown people? And to me, it was just a bit shocking. I never saw that in my mind's eye, that, you know, white people are the minority in the world population. So that is the philosophical question that I have. What's your opinion. What do you think? Leave a comment. I would love to hear your perspective. And that's all I got. Peace. Hey everybody, somewhere in Denmark, Wisconsin here. We're not too far, I don't know, 15 miles to WEO. Here's another question that I would like to ask to all of us. You know, there's no question that the white people did some really, really despicable things in the name of religion and conquering other people. But there's also, you can't deny the fact that white people also brought in some really good things in life, right? And I think that applies to every race out there. I mean, there are some really despicable people in the brown community. There's also some really good people, just like every race that's in the world. And you know, to this day and age, the white people are looked at as evil people because of the domination that they did or caused or accomplished, whether it was done in honor or dishonor. And one of the prevalent argument is that white people forced other people to accept their belief and their religion, and nobody can deny that no one has the right to impose the religion to anyone. In fact, the Bible teaches exactly the opposite. But it's also been a clear fact that sometimes the message of Christianity has been corrupted. And they, they did in the name of Christianity, but they kill people or force people to submit to it. But the point I'm really trying to say is that the white people have been, as I said, looked upon as evil for the history. But I think it's clear that if white people didn't do it, somebody else would have, right? As human nature dictates that somebody else would have done. And I think the Native Americans demonstrated that clearly. Without the influence of white people, the Indian tribes were always at war with somebody. Some Indian tribes were dominators, they were the dominating tribes than others. They were sometimes at war with other tribes. Some tribes conquered other tribes. So again, what I'm trying to say is that if the white people was not the one to dominate the world, somebody would have done it. But here's another thing that I would really like to ask is, let's just suppose that there were no exploration. Let's just say there were no ships that were built. The world did not travel, did not explore. The world was just an island. Every nation, every continent was an island to itself. didn't know anything about the outside world, what kind of world would that be? What kind of accomplishments do you think? What would be the world today look like if there were no merging of thoughts and ideas and other perspective? Would the world be so much better than today? Or would the world be more advanced than what it is today? I think the world, in my opinion, is more advanced to this day because of the merging of thoughts and cultures and ideas. Now, the means is not in question. Sometimes the world has been conquered in evil ways. Sometimes it was conquered in good ways. But as I said, again, I'm trying to clarify is that I really believe that the world is better off because of exploration. People had the sense of exploring other continents. So yeah, they had some really nice houses here. And if that's the case, that human nature dictates that we dominate each other, another question to ask is, what would have been like? What would be the world history if the brown people dominated the world in advancement of technology, wealth, let's replace the white people to brown people. Would the world history be a lot kinder? Less bloody? Would the world have less atrocities? A fewer deaths? Would we stop complaining about the dominance of white people then? Do you think we would see the world as a fair world then if it was the brown people that dominated the world? I don't think so. And I think at the end, it is what it is. It's history. For good and bad, it is what it is. And as I said, if you had the power to change history and change the dominance of white people to other races, I think the outcome is still going to be the same. because the human heart is the same in every race. No one is more worse, or no one is more evil or less evil because of their skin color. Although some people may disagree with that. And I'm talking about this in a secular way. For all of us to be able to contribute to this question. Hey everybody, alright, we've been assigned to door 12. So let's do this. This is the WEL yard. And home office here located in De Pere, Wisconsin. Alright, let's go open the doors. Alright, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.